This thing is like strict. If you're not ready, then you're beat, man. But we are now live.
Okay, I don't see it, but okay. Hi, everyone.
We are. Hello. We are live. I hope.
I hope.
Let me double check here. So
It says we're live. I see that, but
we are live.
We are live. Okay.
I see it. Did he? Oh, he sent me a message. Okay, perfect. So we're all set on that end. So now we're just waiting for people to start showing up. We have one viewer. I don't know who that is, but hopefully more people will join us. I know we're a little late, but things happen, right?
Right.
We're still here. We're both here.
We are. Yay! It's been a whole week. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Whole 2 weeks. I'm so happy to be back, though. It seems like it's been a really long week. 2 weeks. Well, this week seems really long. I think that's why I keep saying that. It seems like the week before went by real fast, but this past week just seems to be dragging. I don't know what it is. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today, at least. Up here in the Northeast, it was beautiful. It was sunny, and it was warm. I should say warmer.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
So good.
This is weird. The way that we do this now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no music. There's no introduction. There's nothing.
That's weird. It definitely feels different.
Yeah. But I'm trying to get used to it. So, What are you going to do?
Hey, it works. Yeah, it's good.
That it does. So, we have people watching. Some are talking to us, some are not talking to us. So, hello to my aunt who's joined us. My grandmother will probably be shortly thereafter. So, as more and more people show up. So, tonight we're going to be talking about this unfortunate virus that's going around.
The coronavirus.
Yes, scaring everyone. So, and then later on, we're going to be talking with author Daniel Peyton. And there he is. Hello, Dan. So,
hi, Dan.
Yeah, he will be joining our live stream talking about his latest book, Dragonwand, book number 4, Sherry. 4. When we met him, he only had 1.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 4. Plus,
it's fantastic.
I know. So, yeah.
It's great.
It is. I don't know if I can post a comment. Can I post a comment? I can. Yay.
Oh, yay. Good.
Here we are. Hello. So, yeah. So, it's going to be an exciting show, to say the least.
It is. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been hearing about, you're talking about that coronavirus.
Yes.
So, before we get into that, we're already dealing with these other things that are going around, like flu, normal cold symptoms. Seems like, can you actually catch both? That's just something I was wondering. I didn't know if you read anything about that, but
I did not read anything about that. I don't know. I have all of my information, so I am ready to go.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So as soon as more people, I'm not exactly sure what's happening here. I don't see the people, but people are watching. Our numbers are fluctuating. So I'm just gonna keep going. And if anyone has anything to say, don't forget to comment.
I'll make a comment. Happy National Cheese Doodle Day. Do you like cheese doodles?
Sometimes. I haven't had those in a while. National Cheese Doodle Day, huh?
Yeah. It kind of goes along with National Potty Dance, which is also today. So I'm kind of wondering if you eat too many cheese doodles, will you end up doing the potty dance?
The potty dance? Yeah. I don't know. Depends on how you are with cheese.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah. Where is everyone? What's happening here? No one's saying anything. All right. Well,
People are quiet.
they are very quiet. Usually they're not.
Why is everyone so quiet today? What's everyone been up to? What have you been up to this week, Brian? Anything new?
No.
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 Nothing?
Same crap every day. So it's just the way it goes. So, yeah.
Aww.
Anything
Wow.
with you? Have you been up to anything?
Every day I'm starting to feel more and more like a taxi. Like my kids keep asking me, "Can you pick me up here? Can you pick me up there? Can you bring me home?" And then now we're down to one vehicle till next week, till the guy can look at it. So it's I'm running for everybody. I feel like a taxi. Yeah, I should start charging like.
You should.
Taxi.
You put a meter in your car.
If anybody in Berkshire County wants a ride, just hit me up. I'm up for it. I'm already in the car from the previous ride. So, yeah, might as well make a living out of this, right?
You might as well be a Lyft driver.
Yeah. I better get registered because I hear if you give people rides, I know far too well that's called human trafficking, and you can get in trouble for that sort of thing. So, make sure you are a Lyft or Uber driver, right? That's the other one. Uber driver.
Uber, yeah.
So if not, be careful.
Yeah. There's Lyft in Pittsfield.
Lyft. Yeah,
yep.
Lyft. I actually haven't seen any Lyft. I've seen Uber, but
maybe it's Uber I've seen. Yeah, because I know someone that okay. So I do know someone that does Uber. So I know it's available in Pittsfield. I don't know about Lyft. I don't know if anyone knows about it. Up here, I don't even know if there is any up here. So
yeah, I don't use.
But if you sign up for Lyft, you could technically be what is it, like a
taxi driver?
A luxury, right? A luxury vehicle.
Is our car considered a luxury vehicle, Brian?
I would consider my vehicle a luxury vehicle. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, because I pay enough for it, it's definitely.
No? What would you consider our vehicle? A medium? A medium. So there's different levels, and the different levels that people choose.
What would make our cars a higher standard? A limo? Or, because, what is it? What's the levels? Like, how do they determine what's a medium?
I think the brand. Unfortunately.
The brand? We drive Fords.
So, if you're driving, I think like the luxury ones are Mercedes, Cadillac, the Suburbans, the Escalades, those are like top brands. So if people choose those luxury vehicles, which I have on occasion, maybe once or twice, I've been in which ones have I been in? Suburbans? Yeah, I get the Suburban ones. the black, sleek Suburbans. Yeah. They are big. So, people tend to make more money. Ours would be probably a medium, I would think. I don't care. I'd still consider my car a luxury car. I don't care.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love my car. I really do love this vehicle. I have to say, out of all the vehicles, I love what I got now, finally.
Sure.
It's a joy to drive it.
Yeah, they're very nice vehicles. So everyone, Sherry has copied me. And we now have the same vehicle, different colors, but same vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
They're very nice vehicles. So, all right. So let's dive into the big discussion that's going on right about now, which is the coronavirus, or what are they calling it? COVID-19.
Yeah, it's changed. Why has it changed names like that?
Nah, it's more.
There's like a scientific name for it, and then there's the regular name.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I have the totals of what's happening. So I'm pretty sure people are freaking out, obviously, and running to the store and grabbing those supplies, which I think is a waste, first of all. But we'll get into that because I'm pretty sure that people are going to disagree. And if you do disagree with whatever I say, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. So currently, Sherry, in the total world, there are 98,369 cases of coronavirus.
Really?
Yes. That is as of 8:53 tonight. So it shows a big map. And what I should do is, I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know if I can share this. I'm going to share this with everyone. So I don't know if you can see this. Can you see it, Mary?
My screen kind of froze up on the computer, so it's kind of hard for me to see it, but I can see it. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
It's like clearing up now. Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
see that. Yep.
Everyone should be seeing what I'm seeing right now. So it tells you the total in the red there, 98,369 cases. It tells you how many and where they are underneath that. So the most being in the mainland China. To the right-hand side here, it tells you that there's been 3,383 deaths so far. And total recovered, 55,398. So that's what's happening.
That's pretty cool. You're able to pull that up.
And the map kind of shows you where exactly everything is there in the middle. So, and it refreshes. I don't know how long they refresh this, but they do it periodically. So, yeah, when did I last look at this? I'm not exactly sure when I looked at it, but it was at 97,879. So it's gone up quite a bit since the last time I took a look at it. But there you are. But that's the totals as of 8:53 tonight. So, and in the U.S. alone, we have 232 cases.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Last I heard, it was like 22 cases. Now we're up to...
Nope, there are 232 cases. Confirmed cases.
Right, confirmed.
Right, in the United States. Absolutely. So, let me stop this screen for people seeing it. And let's go back. Hello, we're back. All right, everyone. So, nobody can see it? Oh, that's what?
Billy says he can see it. Dan says he can see it. I could see it on my computer.
Oh, they can see it. Oh, perfect. All right. So everyone saw it. Okay. So I got this paper here. It kind of just tells you what the virus is, how you can get it, I guess, or whatever. So I don't know. It's just it's crazy right now. It really is. So, and we do have cases in Massachusetts. So it's getting a little scary to say the least. But anyways, so the coronavirus is a respiratory illness that can spread from person to person. The virus that causes COVID-19 is a novel coronavirus that was first identified during an investigation into the outbreak in Wuhan, China, because we all know that's where it came from. That's where it's been confirmed it came from. So, yeah. So that's where we're at right now.
And From what I've heard, it's just like the flu, but it comes on like the worst cold of your life kind of thing.
Yeah, because the symptoms for the virus, which you don't know if you have it or not, because it mimics other, like the flu, like you said, fever, coughing, shortness of breath. So if you have those three things combined, you're to seek medical treatment, and they will test you to see if you have the coronavirus. So, yeah, some patients have pneumonia in both lungs, multi-organ failure, and in some cases, death.
Jeez.
So, yeah. So they're saying, and this is what's getting me, because I'm pretty sure you've seen it and everyone else has seen it. It's all over the news. It's all anyone is talking about. And I think it's causing a panic when there really doesn't need to be a panic about it. So stores are running out of supplies, certain supplies anyways, when they shouldn't be, because people should not be buying all of that stuff in bulk. So, if you are sick, you are to stay home. So they're telling people, just stay home. It's like the regular flu, just stay home. Cover your cough or sneeze with a tissue, then throw the tissue in the trash. Who knew? That's what you had to do. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. Oh, you got the coronavirus.
No, I just have a dry throat tonight. That's all.
So, and we're running out of hand sanitizer. So people are buying it in bulk, and I've seen it because I've been selling it at my store. People are going crazy, which, it's not going to help you not get the virus, by the way. So,
because this is a respiratory infection.
Right. But they're saying wash your hands the proper way, which is 20 seconds all over, front, back, palms, in between your fingers. Just do it. Just wash your hands. That's the best way. If you're not able to wash your hands right away, then yes, you can use, the antibacterial, whatever I want to say. What do I want to say? Hand sanitizer, excuse me. The other thing that they're having shortages of are face masks. People are going around and buying face masks from like Home Depot and Target and CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, all these places. The mask, if you are healthy, you don't need a mask. You don't need a mask. What's the point? You're causing a shortage, which they're really you don't need to. So, and now they're saying toilet paper. Buy up all that toilet paper and bottled water.
It's funny that you're saying that, because I did go to Walmart. I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but there's like no toilet paper. I don't know if you've been in there.
Yes, and that's what's
there's
happening.
Like no toilet paper.
And that's what's happening. That's what's happening at my store. People, for some reason, I don't know who said it or where it came from. Somebody said they heard it on the news or something. To stockpile toilet paper and sanitizer. Really? So it's almost like the winter storm is coming, where everyone grabs the milk and bread and whatever else. Now it's hand sanitizer and toilet paper. You people are causing shortages. That's what's happening. So you don't need all that stuff. So, yeah. It's not just water. Coronavirus fears have prompted consumers nationwide and around the world to snatch up as much hand sanitizer, toilet paper, cleaning products, and other goods as they can cram into their shopping cart.
Boy, what if this was a big hoax and it was all about the businesses that sell this type of stuff to just get it sold to make money, come up with this virus and just tell them, go buy it, go buy this stuff.
Yeah, there's really no point, to be honest with you. So
it just seems like it. I mean, it's weird.
Yeah. There's also travel restrictions. So I hate to be someone on a cruise ship right about now.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously, huh?
I said that's a good point. Don't put yourself in a situation where you can, just postpone it for a little bit longer.
Right. So there are restrictions. So obviously, they are restricting travel to China and Iran. The CDC recommends that travelers avoid all non-essential travel to the following destinations of South Korea and Italy. And also postponing travel to Japan.
People should think about too going to an event or something where there's a lot of people. Avoid that, like big events, like
I mean, if they keep going with everything, no one's going to want to do anything. So people are canceling their trips. They are canceling their flights. They are canceling their vacations. Some are working from home. If you go into certain stores, cashiers are using gloves now to handle, transactions and money and all sorts of stuff. So, and like Dan here says that the Olympics is supposed to be in Tokyo, and if they don't deal with that, then there's not going to be the Olympics. So,
Mm-hmm.
It's hurting the stock market. I can tell you that. So this is not good business, I'll tell you. So, yeah. Just wash your hands, folks. That's all you got to do. Wash your hands. Do a little cleaning. So, yeah. You should be fine. I hope. So, yeah. And the mask thing, if you are not sick, don't wear a mask. It's useless. Don't wear one. If you're sick, you can use one. But other than that, and half the time people don't even wear the mask the right way.
So they're just wasting them.
Yeah, and they're using the wrong masks to begin with. So you're using like a painter's mask or something from a hardware store. That's not effective at all. So there's no point. But anyways, so yeah, there you go. Wash your damn hands. So obviously people are agreeing with me because I have not gotten any negative feedback about that. But if anyone else has any questions or concerns, bring them up. Say something. So, yeah.
What is sorry, I have a distraction. I don't know if you can hear her. I apologize. They're house full tonight. What was I going to say? I lost what I was going to say. There's a lot of flu going on out there, but don't, judge people for having the coronavirus unless they actually have it as well.
Well, first of all, I think if you are suspecting, like if I think I have the coronavirus and I go to the hospital and I think I have these symptoms, I think I might have, it's supposed to be private. So, and then I'm told to go home and isolate myself for 14 days. So unless you go and blab your mouth or whatever, but for some reason with the family in Pittsfield that was quarantined for the 14 days, they didn't have the coronavirus. They were just, because they came from overseas, they were automatically quarantined. It didn't mean that they had it, but they kind of blew it up out of proportion. Everyone's on Facebook saying, oh my God, it's in Pittsfield. It wasn't. So, yeah. So if you think you have it, don't be going around telling me.
Makes me cough thinking about it.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. It really is.
Yeah.
But on a lighter note, this weekend, we spring ahead, do we not? We do.
Yay!
Spring is here, folks. Well, close. But we spring ahead.
Some people are upset because they think they're losing an hour's sleep by springing ahead.
You are.
Well, you go
When
to
you
bed an
fall
hour
back,
early.
you gain that hour in the fall. You gain it. But when the really, Sherry, when the clock goes forward, you lose the hour. Yep, that's how it works. Because we get more daylight.
Right.
So we're,
It's just teasing. Just mean a smarty pants. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So, is this going to affect you at all?
I don't think so. I've been doing it for 37 years. So
Right. But do you get affected by the time change?
You kind of notice it in the beginning, but after a while, it's like, whatever. It is what it is. So it sucks if you have to work in the morning when the clock changes ahead. Yeah, you're losing that hour, which I have to this Sunday, which stinks. So
Fine.
Yeah. Oh well, what are you gonna do, right? So yeah. What else is coming up? St. Patrick's Day is coming up. I don't think we have a do we have a show before then or after? After. Oh, boo.
There's a lot coming up, actually, for me. It's most of my family's birthdays are just here, coming just around the corner. It's going to be a lot going on for me this next 3 months or so. People seem to get married more towards this time of the year, so there's a lot of anniversaries coming up, a lot of birthdays, Easter, St. Patrick's Day. Oh, crazy.
Oops.
So actually, they were talking about doing away with the time change. Do you think that would make a big difference, people?
I don't know.
Oh, I guess they did a poll on how many people would like to do away with it, and not many. 90% said just leave it alone, just keep doing it. Like you said, you've done it for 37 years. This is just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Don't go changing things.
Yeah. There's really no point. So
no point in it. Just makes it more interesting, I guess, if you leave it.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah.
So
Cool.
So we're actually going to have a guest on our show tonight. This is exciting.
We are any minute now. As soon as he clicks that link and we can connect and do this, this will be our first guest technically now that we've started doing a video. So everyone will be able to, if it works, which it should because it's working for us. This will be the first time that we've had a guest on. So let's see how well it goes. So as soon as he connects and I see him, we will start chit-chatting with him.
Okay.
So yeah, he's been on multiple times back in the day when we
back in the day
when we were doing video or radio. Now we're doing video. So we've gotten all technical now. So, and there he is. I see him. So yeah, so Daniel will be coming on to talk about his fourth book in the series of the Dragonwand series.
Hey, cool.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
What?
Absolutely nothing. I think he can see me. I think that's what yeah, he can see me, but he can't hear me and I can't see him. So let's bring him on. Let's talk to him. Let's see how this goes. Let's add him.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, there you all are.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, we're here.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Dan. Welcome.
First time I get to share a screen with you on this.
I know, right? This is great. It's magnificent. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm not sick. I'm fine, so I'm good.
Yay.
There we go.
I was wondering how you're adjusting living in the north now.
It's a little more cold than I'm used to. Winters are hard. Summers are cold. I tell people here I could wear a jacket in the summertime, and they laugh at me. I'm like, but it's over 100 degrees this summer to me, not what they have here.
Wow. See, crazy. I just heard too that Tennessee got hit with a ton of tornadoes.
Oh yeah, Middle Tennessee. Yep.
Must be kind of happy to be out of there though for that reason.
Yeah, I grew up around tornadoes. I grew up in Oklahoma, so I've seen a lot of tornadoes in my life. And where I lived in Tennessee, we didn't get them. They didn't get hit this time either, but Middle Tennessee did. So that was East Tennessee. Middle Tennessee got hit hard, and they weren't ready for it, but they got there's at least, if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4 that hit major areas, including Nashville. And it was ugly. It was really ugly.
Really? Yeah, my Dakota, on my other show, he lives down there, and his father's friend, unfortunately, got killed by the tornado. So our hearts and prayers go out to his father's friend at this time, and to everyone else who's dealing with the wreckage from the tornadoes in Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people turning out to help. I mean, they're truly proving why it's called the volunteer state.
Yeah. Very impressive. The people, it's just great. It's wonderful that they're there. Definitely.
It happens on a pretty large cycle. We had a bad outbreak about, I'd say, 13 years ago, and it was ugly. It hit more south, but that's when the Tuscaloosa tornado took out half that city down in Alabama, but it hit several places in Tennessee. So I was expecting one soon. Unfortunately, it was worse than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Well, Dan, on a lighter note, you are here with us. So happy to have you with us tonight. And you have some really exciting news to share with everyone. So go right ahead. Please tell us what's going on. What's new?
Well, as of March 3rd, I have published the 4th book in the Dragonwand series. This is my first book to publish based on fans asking for more. I've published and written books for stuff because people have asked for it, like the Winter Wizard series or the Earth's Last Starship. But when I finished the Dragonwand series, books 1, 2, and 3, that was supposed to be the trilogy, the story. But people wanted more, so I kept writing, and so I've got book 4 out. 5, 6, and 7 are already written and at the publisher. So there is going to be 3 more books after this one.
Wow.
And this one is critical. This is a standalone book, and it's a very unique standalone book. However, it sets up a lot of stuff that's going to happen in books 4, 5, 6, and 7. So it's important to the readers to pick it up. So it's going to be a trilogy and then a second trilogy, and this is right in the middle of both of those.
Wow. We've been waiting for this moment that this one's coming out. So this is pretty exciting.
Yeah, and it's a different type of book. It's actually what I call a parallel book. The story is of Marcus and Crystal. After the Dragonwand events, they're in school, and they are experiencing, the Marcus is the dragon, and so he has responsibilities to the nation as a leader, but he's only 17 now, so he's still young, but he has a story that he has to fulfill from the first book series. He's helping the gnomes, and so it's his story of going out and doing what he promised he would do and finding a solution, and also finding a lot of questions that will impact the future books. But then Crystal, at the exact same time, she's in school, and you get to see where she goes, and between her and Donna and a whole bunch of students, what happens with them on a journey they must take as students of the school to make their first wand. And so that's her story at the same time. So it's two parallel stories going on that start together, separate, and they end together. So it's not a normal book, but it definitely it's a really adventurous story. I really like it.
Interesting.
So, and I was thinking when you mentioned that my first interview with you guys, I was talking about Dragonwand Book 1. Since then, I've published books 2 and 3, now 4, Earth's Last Starship, The Winter Wizard, 1, 2, and 3, and Remnant.
Nice.
All since that first interview with you guys. So I've got a lot of books out between then and now.
Wow. I hope we inspired some of this.
Oh, definitely. Just read The Winter Wizard or Earth's Last Starship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
No, that's great. Very exciting. I wish I could just get them all, sit down on a weekend and just read. Like, I hate reading and then having to stop. That's,
Yeah.
Just want to get through them all at once and just let it happen.
I have a lot of people who tell me that they pick up the 3 books and they just read them end to end at one time. And I always look at them like, wow, that's dedicated. But I guess if you can watch Netflix for binge watch a whole weekend, I guess you could binge read a whole weekend.
Yeah. Well, you're the way you write really just draws you in. It's like it's really hard to put down the books that you write because of the way that you write. So you're very descriptive, and it's just a great, easy reads. They're just you can relate to the stuff that you talk about in ways like you can feel the emotions. You can really enjoy the characters that you create in your books, and I think that's really people need to know. Like it just draws you right in. There's no other way to say it.
Well, and one thing I have been complimented on by reviewers, publishers, and readers alike is that my stories don't have a lot of fluff. They don't have a lot of downtime. It's from beginning to end. You follow the story, the action, the characters. I don't spend a lot of time in rabbit holing the story or just getting verbose long chapters about one thing that really isn't necessary. I try to stay very tight with the story. And ever since I was younger, starting writing, I always thought to myself, I want to write like you're watching a movie. So you don't want it to drag and come down to where you're just sitting back on, okay, I know this, or I don't need to know this type of scene. And some writers do a really good job with that. They use those times to really give you a better view of the world their characters are in. I prefer to weave that into the story itself, so I don't have to sit back and go, okay, now we're going to have a chapter just exploring the city. I don't want to do that. I want to have the characters explore the city as they're solving a problem.
Right. Like I said before, I can totally see your books evolving into being like a movie or, episodes of some type. Definitely.
Yeah, I would really love to see that. I've also got some people who want to take some of my shorter stories and turn them into graphic novels and comic books because, that's also tight writing. You get over fluffed with that either, or because it's art. You gotta keep it tight with that. So either way, I'd like to see it done. My quality is writing and some artwork, but I'm not a movie maker. I'd love to be able to go out there and do it myself and get it done, but it takes money and experience and knowledge, everything, all the stuff I don't have for this. So I got to find somebody who does.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Dan? I do have to say you're one of the most talented people that I know. You can write. You can draw. You have a wonderful talent for your artistry, and you're just a really creative person. And being able to stitch those dragons you've been doing, I've been watching your posts.
Yeah.
Very nice. I don't have patience for stuff like that, so anyone who can do that, wow, it's amazing.
Thank you. Cool. There are many people more talented than I will say that every day, but it's practice. That's something I've been embroidering. I've been doing some kind of fiber art embroidery since I was 5. So,
wow.
It's doing creative stuff has always been with me. And I get people when I do something, and yes, it's impressive because I have years of experience. It's impressive when I get done and they'll say, oh, I could never do that. Or you're so talented. I don't have the talent. talent is just 5% of the work. It's all the practice. I would hate for someone to read some of the very first stories and books I wrote just for me. They are atrocious, but I worked and worked and worked and worked until I got to where I am. Same with my art. Oh my goodness. I could show you a picture that I drew just 5-6 years ago and what I'm doing now, because I do it every day now. I'm doing a lot of art every day. Practice. The practice alone has turned my scribblings into something I can actually market. And now that's something I'm doing for the past, since July. I'm now the creative consultant for an online game. And I do artwork for them. I write their stories and stuff like that. So I've been able to turn it into another marketable venture, but that's, practice. It's a lot of practice.
That's great. And I can say I have seen your work progress since we've met you, and the stuff you shared. I'm like, wow, he's getting really good, like really good. And you can tell. Yeah. Thanks for sharing all your, what you do with us over all these years. Because I can sit here and say, yeah, I've been able to follow you in your progression on your books, your writing, your your stitch work. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's really amazing.
And I love sharing it. That's one thing I like about art. It's everything I do is entertaining. I want people to enjoy it. And that's actually a hard thing, because there's so many people out there wanting the other people's attention. It's not a war. We all work together, but you're all stepping on top of each other at times. So, but that's
now. What are some other talents Dan has?
Well,
do you have more?
I was a professional dancer for 12 years.
Oh.
I was on stage doing Okinawan dance and music.
Wow.
I do music. I can sing. I can play several different instruments. In fact, I can play violin and alto recorder, Irish flute, shamisen, taiko, and let's see here. So those, music's a major part of my life that is kind of gone to the background over the last few years, but I'm actually an honorary member of the Sigma Alpha Iota, which is a women's fraternity in music, professional women's fraternity in music. My mother's been a member for since 91, and because I worked with them and I'm musical and all, they gave me an honorary membership, a distinguished membership, to be part of their organization to help promote music education, and all that. And I take that as a great honor, because they're very professional.
Oh, that's great. See, I knew there was more. There has to be more.
Yeah, I would do more music. I would get out there and play and do more music, but it's a lot. It's just like anything. It's practice, a lot of work. And with everything else I do, I've lost time to separate for that specifically too much. Back in Tennessee, before I was like doing this, working in the games and stuff, I was with my church. We put on big performances like at Christmas and all, and I was part of that. I've done theater. I was Christmas Carol, Jesus Christ Superstar, Flapper. I've done stage work beyond my dancing and stuff, musical work. So yeah, it's something I do enjoy when I get a chance to do it. But there's only so much time in a day, especially when they take an hour away.
True, right? Yep, that's true. Now, do you plan on writing? I know you'd like to do more books to this, right? The book that just came out.
Oh yeah.
Do you plan on writing more to it?
Well, as I said, I've already written 5, 6, and 7. So and there's 3 more books after this. Plus, all this whole book series hinges on ancient history. It hinges on, and of course, the next trilogy that comes after this one, 5, 6, and 7, it has a new character in there that turns out to be vitally related to Marcus, the main character. And there's a massive history back there. So because of all that, I have already written the first draft of a prequel that's set in the Dragonwand universe, but it's approximately 3,000 years before the beginning of the Dragonwand stories. But it explains and sets up a lot of the stuff, going back in time about the wizards in the world they came from before they came to Yalinor. So, and a couple of the characters from that book are found in this book series in the Dragonwand Day. So I'm going to have a prequel set up for this too. And as I said, if people want it, if people are loving it and want more and ask for more, I'll write more. You know, I love to write, and if people are asking for it, I'll write it.
Right now, Kayla's wondering, what is your favorite book of the trilogy?
Of the trilogy, that is hard. Explain that first. This trilogy was made a trilogy by my publisher. I wrote it as one book. But if I were to pull it apart, I honestly think the first book, in my opinion, is my favorite because it has the most lightness to it, because it's the beginning. And the dire situations haven't happened yet. It's just beginning. Marcus first meets the girl he's going to fall in love with and encounters her overprotective adoptive father and the humor that's there. The father, who's a good-looking man, encounters Donna, who is an overtly flirtatious woman. That there's some humor there. I mean, the first book has a lightness to it that I enjoy. Now, the rest of it really fills out the story. But if I were to pick one, that first one I love because it gives the characters time to be happy and fun and funny before it's now dramatic and important and emphatic and all that. So definitely the first one.
Interesting. Brian, I kept talking, so I'm going to break and give you a minute here.
That's okay. That's all right. So you were speaking of your mom before. How is my commanding officer? How is she doing?
She's doing good.
Good.
We are doing a lot of stuff right now. As we're in Michigan, we moved up here. We're rejoining groups that we've left behind, like Sigma Alpha Iota. There's a chapter up here. Embroiderers Guild. I'm actually part of the Embroiderers Guild of America. So we found that a really good one here. You know, we're getting a little more involved. It's taking some time because I never thought about this until I came here, that America really is split by culture. You know, we may be all Americans, but I grew up in a southwestern-ish southern culture in Oklahoma, then Tennessee, which is Bible Belt, Southern, and then I come to Michigan, especially right outside of Detroit. Big difference, big difference, and I'm learning the little differences. It sets me back at times. And I have to remember, that's right. That's how you're going to respond here. Nothing bad. People have always had this illusion that Northerners, if you go up north, Southerners are all sweet and pie and happy. Northerners are all bitter and ignore you, and that's not true. That's not true at all. But you'll find bitter people anywhere. You'll find happy people anywhere. It's just there's a slight difference in how they react to things, and it actually takes some getting used to. So, and I think Mom's had a little bit harder time with that here than I, because it's just she really wasn't keen on coming up here, and so she was already abrasive about being here, and it's taken some time to get used to it. So, but we are, and we're getting to enjoy, especially now that the harder part of winter is passing. To the people up here, it was an easy winter. We only had so much snow. To me, I'm from the South. Any snow is frightening, and so. You know, that we're finally warming up a little bit. Spring might be coming soon. Or, you know, I'm looking forward to that. You know, so getting out of the house.
There you go. Let's see, Kayla. I don't know if you guys can see the questions when they pop up.
Actually, do I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Kayla wants to know, which character do you relate to the most?
Well, I like to say that I divide myself up amongst my characters. At times, Marcus maybe is close to me when it comes to his naivety, his eagerness to please people, and his stubbornness. I like to say that, like Treb in the story, I can be overly loyal, overly protective. But if I had to pick one, I would say Marcus, and not because he's the hero. I'd pull out what makes Marcus not so great. That's where you find me, because you know his naivety, his stubbornness, his kind of foolhardiness. That's me all over the place.
That's
So besides, oh, she's got more questions. Let's see here. Uh-oh, there's another one. Let's see. How long did it take for you to write your first book, publish, and release?
Oh, well, okay. I'll say there's two answers to that. One for the Dragonwand. I wrote the Dragonwand in about 3 months, and then it took 2 years before a publisher got a hold of it. And then after they did, 6 months of editing, cover art, formatting, all that stuff. And so just under 3 years from starting writing it to publishing it.
Yeah.
That actually took longer. Your first book with a new publisher always takes longer because it's getting to them for one thing, but also it's just, you're getting used to them, they're getting used to you, and all that. After that, it smooths out a bit. The second answer is my very, very first book, which was published back in 2008, was very quick, but it was a very bad situation with a fraudulent publisher. They rushed things to the publishing, and they screwed me over bad, and that's a long, long story. But needless to say, I'm no longer with them, and I have much better experiences since then.
Mm.
good.
Does you have any more questions? I only saw the other one pop up there.
I don't believe so.
Or any other questions? Anybody else have questions? Publishing, writing, my books, anything like that? I will say, if I can do a little promoting here, next week, the first book of the Dragonwand series is going to be 99 cents on Kindle to download. And so we're going to be doing some promoting of that. And I would appreciate if you pick it up, give it a review. But also, if you see me or my publisher may post an ad about it, grab that and share the post. I need to get the word out. And that's really hard. Today, social media makes it really hard to truly get the word out because you got to get other people out there helping share stuff. It used to be a little easier than that, but now with all the algorithms and the fact they're selling their space to advertising, they really want me to purchase more space, and I'd purchase what I can, but I need people to help me. So, and Brian and Sherry do a great job. They're always sharing my stuff, and I love that. So that's always good. But anybody else, share.
Yeah.
Okay, I was hearing a kid earlier. Is that a kid or a dog?
I am so sorry. Yes, we took in a dog. His name is Cyrus, and he's barking at someone downstairs. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
If I tell him to stop, he just continues.
Yeah, that's all right. I was hearing a kid. I didn't know if the kid had kind of gone off or not, but
it's always from my house. All the background noises.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I don't know if it does or not. Okay.
Everyone comes home at this time, and yeah.
And we have a little 6-pound Pomeranian that has no teeth, and she's not much of a barker. She will sometimes when somebody comes to the door. Other than that, she's just not a barker, which is kind of nice because we were warned Pomeranians would be nasty, yappy dogs. And she's not at all. She's not a yappy dog. I love it. She's a sweet dog, a little stubborn, but Pomeranian would expect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just barks when he hears noise. He's protecting. You can't yell at him for that. He's doing his job. So
I'm getting a question from my live audience. What was the question again? Why doesn't Dan publish to iBooks?
I believe my book Remnant is on iBooks. However, a lot of my books are on Amazon, are on the Amazon Select, the program for like the sharing and the Prime and all that. To include your book in that, you sign an agreement that your ebooks are exclusively sold through Amazon. I don't quite care for that. It's for the Kindle Unlimited program, so your book can be shared and borrowed and all that. And I actually get money for people borrowing and sharing the book, so I do get paid for that. But that prevents me from putting it on Barnes & Noble, iBooks, Google Books, any of those other ones. I'm just, for the ebook, I'm locked down to Amazon. And that's an Amazon thing. Now, the print book, of course, can be sold anywhere, but that's they don't lend or borrow that one out. But it's just, unfortunately, I'd love to have it on every platform out there, but I can't. And that's a publisher's decision. They wanted to do that, so it's not in my hands.
Mm.
Oh.
Does that answer your question? Okay. Huh? Oh, yeah, he's not happy about it. Okay. So we're Apple users. So most of
Fortunately, there's an app on Amazon you can download that gives you a Kindle Reader for free on any Apple iPad, phone, or anything like that. So you can get Kindle books that way if you want to. But that's as much as I can offer. Fortunately, as I said, that app's free, so it's nice.
What? He doesn't like Amazon. He's not a fan of Amazon.
He's not alone.
I love Amazon. Sweet. Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. Shut up. Let's see. Any other questions here? My sister wanted to know that if you had a pug, it's not a pug. It's some sort of dog. I don't know what it is. But what kind of dog is it, Sherry? Do you know?
It's a Yorkie.
Yorkie. Yeah, she's a tenant, and he's a he.
He sounds bigger.
Yeah, tiny little thing. Yeah. I have. So if anyone has any other questions for Dan, now is the time. I know that we've had him on before on the radio show part of it. We've asked millions of questions, but now's your chance. You get to see him, so come on. Let's see if there's any other questions. So, any more thoughts on your what's the word you guys use on your the story that you wrote for, is it fandom, Star Trek fandom, or
fan fiction?
Fan fiction. Thank you.
Yeah, I've enjoyed writing it, and it's done pretty well on Wattpad. People read it and shared it, and I've had a few comments. My favorite comment was a person saying they love 90s Star Trek books, the book series, and they said that this reminded them of that. And I was like, yay! I actually, did that. I wouldn't mind writing some more, but at this point I am so busy, it's hard to. Kayla asks, do you have any crazy fans, obsessed fans? I have some fans. I don't think I've reached crazy yet that I'm aware of. They might be stalking me and I'm unaware of it. But I have a few. There's one online. I know this guy that I've known for a while. He's actually joined the game that I work on, and he has shared my books on that game's Facebook page like 400 times. I've had to, at one point, I finally, as an admin on the page, had to take it down and say, I thank you. It's nice, but this is supposed to be about the game. I have a couple fans that I know in real life here that in Tennessee that I got to know that they would come to every convention I was at so they could get my newest book, make sure they got it signed. They would buy multiple copies because they were school teachers. And then I have one out of England that's determined to get every book I've written, and I have to sign it and mail it to him in Oxford, England. And he's an unique individual. He wants me to insult him when I sign the book. So I insult him. But to know if I have any truly crazy fans, not that I've had to have restraining orders yet. So maybe one of these days.
Cool. Where did Sherry just go?
Oh, we lost Sherry.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm here. I don't know where my visual went. I'm checking my camera, but it's not picking me up for some reason. I did have a call come in once again. I ask everyone, don't call me at this time. But if you can hear me, I'll just stay with you guys, okay? If my camera comes back on, I'll get lucky.
I actually bought a new mic for this, so I've got I hopefully sound better.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone else has any other questions before we close out the show here, I'm pretty sure.
Just thank you, Dan, for coming on. This is great. I'm so glad I was able to do this interview with Brian and you live, like visual, for at least most of it.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed it. You know, I always enjoy coming on here. It's fun. And I love talking about my work.
A lot different though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think is better, this or the radio?
I liked that it was on radio, but this looks better and sounds better. It just does. I'm not sure what the format's different or what, but it does. It sounds better and looks better. And the fact that we have Sherry on here as well is really nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. I am getting used to it. It's, this is a big accomplishment for me, breaking a lot of walls down by coming on. So Brian's giving that look. I know that look, Brian. I can see you.
I'm actually wearing, if you can see it, my Brian and Sherry shirt.
Oh.
Oh, there I am.
Yep.
Oh, sure.
Oh, that's great.
I'm doing a book signing in Toledo in a couple weeks, the 13th, 14th. I'm going to be in Toledo, Ohio, doing book signing at a Comic-Con. And one of the days, I'm going to wear my Brian and Sherry shirt.
That's awesome. Dan, we love you. That's awesome. Thank you.
Is anyone going with you? Because you, like your mom, they go with you to these?
At times. This time, I'm actually, there's another author in my publishing house, Cosby Media, who does young adult fiction, and he lives in Toledo. And so he and I are going to share a booth there to promote together and our publishing house and all that. So this is a little different than what I've done before. I am going to be at Fanboy again this year in Knoxville, Tennessee. I love doing that one. It's one of my favorites. And I'm planning on looking at some others near to me. This where I live now, with Ann Arbor and Detroit and Port Huron and all around me. They have Comic-Cons, little, big, library ones all over the place. So I'm going to try and set up a lot more local ones here and see what I can get going. Also, we're right near Ohio, so I've got anything from Cincinnati to Toledo to there. Chicago's not that far to do stuff. It's huge. So I'm planning to expand my repertoire of Comic-Cons. It's just take time. So it takes time and money. Comic-Cons are not cheap. So getting it all set up. One of these times, I'm going to do a Comic-Con where I'll have the captain of the, Earth's Last Starship with me, so he can sign books too. One of these days, I may have to do a Comic-Con there in Pittsfield so I can do it. But
if you need, I know it takes money, and I'll just add her to the stream. I know that Comic-Cons take, obviously they are expensive, depending on which one you go to. The bigger the ones you go to, the more money, like the New York City one. So if you could get to the New York City one at some point, it's 3 hours away. So, yes.
Oh, there's Sherry.
Yeah, there's Sherry.
Back.
So, yeah. I hope to be traveling next year. So you never know. So we'll see. So, yeah, I think 2021 will be the year that I have to start venturing out and going places. So
now, I seem to remember hearing that a few times.
Yeah, well, it like you said, even though I'm not part of the Comic-Con, I don't have a booth. But expenses on getting there, if it's not within my home state or surrounding states, which is New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, or places like that, it takes quite a bit of money, because it's either I got to fly somewhere, I have to take a train somewhere, and then you got to be put up for the night. Am I driving there, or am I taking alternate transportation? Do I need a car to get around? So then that adds up. So it does that's pretty much what keeps me grounded here, is the expense of money. What just happened?
The dog just he came in running in
and crashing into your wall there.
Crashed into my wall.
If it's planned right, I really do. I've already spoken with him, so he knows that I would like to venture out. This year I have way too many things going on. So Um, I'm going to Florida in May. I'm going to Florida in December. So, and I got some things in between that I need to do. So this year is pretty, strapped, pretty much.
Well, I do know that at a lot of the Comic Cons I'm at, I'll have people who do podcasts and broadcasts and stuff who go around and do interviews, pod interviews with authors and artists and stuff, so that they can. I think they get special prices to get in, or free entry because they're press, getting some publicity for the convention. And most of them is pre-recorded. They don't come in there and do live shows from the convention floor normally. I've had a couple, but most of the time, no. They come in and they'll do a recording with this person, and then they say, okay, we'll be on next week's show, and then another person. And the fun thing about that is, people like me and other authors, we're up for interviews all the time because we need the attention. But you'll also find some of the actors and actresses that are there, especially earlier in the day when they don't have any lines. You go up and ask their promoter, can I do a brief interview with them? They're like, sure, why not? So you get to do an interview with a celebrity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Neat.
So I always thought you could bank on that. You could do a couple interviews and stuff, record them, and have them as part of your show.
Absolutely.
Very neat.
I need to do something. I need to go to one. I just need one. That's all I need. So, yeah. Yep.
Someday, Brian, you'll
I
make
know.
it.
Well, I'm hoping. I'm hoping. So, yeah.
One of these days.
Yes. So, yep. We'll see. At any rate, it's that time. It's way over that time.
Yeah.
We've gone over in time, Sherry.
I know. Well, we're talking to Dan. We like talking to Dan.
It's perfectly fine, but the problem is we don't have that annoying woman saying 60 seconds anymore, letting us know it's time to come to an end. But anyways, as always, thank you so much for coming on and talking about your book. I'm pretty sure that we're going to talk about it. I've already shared all of your posts from your Facebook, so people should know about it. And like Dan said, if anyone wants to go and find his books, he's on Amazon. So, and I think the easiest way is just to type your name in, and everything usually comes right up. Your author's page comes right up. So, or the link's right on your Facebook page. So,
oh yeah, if you go right to my Facebook page, you're going to find all my stuff there. Now, have you read the Dragonwand series, Brian?
I have not read all of them, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I think I've read 1 and 2 so far. I think, 1 and 2.
I was going to say, if you wanted to read it, and then we could do another show with the discussion, maybe if somebody else in the audience have read it, actually ask questions about it.
Could do that. Absolutely. So if people want information about you from Facebook, which Facebook do you generally have people use? Your author page or?
Author page. My author page is the best way to get a hold of me. I mean, I'll respond to either one of them, but the author page, anybody who likes it can comment. I get the comment, I can respond. On my private page, you have to friend me and then respond. I often actually turn away friend requests if I don't really know somebody, because I have so many, especially now that I'm a game dev and admin of that. There's a lot of game players who want to friend me and then ask questions about programming and stuff that I can't answer. So I've kind of been a little more selective about who I friend on Facebook as my private page. My professional page, Dan Peyton author, that my private professional page, you can go like that, send me a comment.
Oh.
I'll get it.
I don't want to take it.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd it go? Oh, I don't like this. All right, hold on.
If somebody asks a question on my
There we go.
there we go. On my professional page, then I will do my best to answer as soon as possible. And I will say this: if you contact me on my page, anybody's listening, and you want to review one of my books, which means you can go on Amazon and leave a review for it. And I'm going to explain, you have to have spent $500 through your Amazon account before they'll let you review a book. They're really they've got a weird requirement there. But if you can do that and you're willing to ask me, I will give you an e-copy of any of my books that you want, as long as you promise me you will read it as soon as you can, and then leave a review, because reviews are important. So to anybody listening, you send me a message on there asking about that, and we'll discuss it. And I'm very open to giving away copies of the book, as long as I know you're going to review it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I have reviewed books on there.
Mm-hmm.
Then again,
You have.
Just goes
I have
to
to.
how much money I've spent on Amazon. So yeah. Anyways, you have too, Sherry, right?
Yeah. Yes, I
Mhm.
have.
Okay.
Yep.
So there you go. So if you can leave a review, why not get a free book out of it? It seems like a pretty good deal to me. So
Just private message me on that page, or you can leave a comment on there, and I'll get in touch with you. Whoever wants to do that, just anybody who wants to do that. And I say it's Amazon. Most of my books, outside of I believe Remnant, the ebooks are exclusively on Amazon. So that's where you need to be. For I believe Remnant, that one's open to Amazon, Barnes and Noble, other platforms. So we can actually go beyond that. So just know that.
absolutely. Well, it's been fun.
I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do this
Good.
again. So, any last words, Sherry, before we close?
Just thanks again to all of our listeners, and thank you, Dan, once again for coming on. And I hope to have you on again soon, because it was a lot of fun, and we love learning all of the new stuff. So
I'll be glad to come on. Just let me know when.
Okay.
I can come on. Now, you said you wouldn't have a show before St. Patrick's Day, but your next Thursday is before St. Patrick's Day. Or do you not have a show next week?
well, I mean, yeah, you caught me off guard there. Yeah, okay, I see what I've said. What I meant was that week.
Okay.
That week, yes.
Okay.
Well, yes, there is a show next week, so it would be nice to do a show before St. Patrick's Day that week, but unfortunately, it's going to have to be afterwards. So
You can always do a brief little thing on Monday.
probably could. We'll have to see.
I'm up for a Monday. Just let me know.
Bring some green beer and go crazy.
Yeah.
Remember we dressed up one year? Yeah, that was the one time I was on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You remember
Oh
that?
yeah, I remember that.
I cooked Brian ham. I don't know. It was fun.
Yeah, I had ham and potatoes and all that good stuff. So.
Let me tell you something. That is something else living up here. They culturally don't have in the South. There's things this time of the year in southeastern Michigan. They have punchkis. Do you know what those are? You ever heard of? See,
I've heard of it.
They're
But never
Polish. They're supposedly Polish, but they're invented here. But they're a special, extremely rich pastry they make between New Year's and Easter. They everywhere, and then everything they do. They have Irish soda bread. Everywhere you go, you can get corned beef and cabbage. Every grocery store has got now displayed to make that. I mean, I thought St. Patrick's Day was celebrated where I've been. This they go a whole different direction here, all a whole hog to put it properly. And they are. I've been surprised at that. I kind of like it. I've tried new things.
It's cool. Very cool.
So enjoy your corned beef and cabbage. You don't have to drink green beer, and enjoy St. Patrick's Day and ham.
Ham, yes. Corned beef, no.
It's like a Northeast thing. Ham. I know.
Ham.
Really, I
A
know
lot
that.
of people here eat ham. We don't have corned beef. I mean, a lot of people eat corned beef, but you hear a lot of ham. A lot of ham dinner.
Tomorrow I'm going to a corned beef and hash house. So it's a whole restaurant dedicated to corned beef.
Wow. Interesting. Smells good, I bet.
Oh,
well, have fun with that.
It is very good. I've tried a sample of it. It's really good. So
Nice.
I'm going to be here. Might as well enjoy it.
Right?
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. Go for it.
All righty. I do need to get off because I've got stuff to do. So thank you for having me on here.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Don't forget to read and review. Everybody.
Don't forget.
Yes, don't forget. All right, everyone. Till next week, have a fantastic weekend. It's supposed to warm up. It's supposed to be in the 60s, Sherry. So spring is, I hope, here.
Yes.
So yeah, get out there and do
Party.
what you need to do. And don't forget to wash your hands. Wash your hands, folks. There you go.
Wash.
Wash, yes. So till next time, thanks again there, Dan. And Sherry, we'll talk to you later.
Sounds good.
Bye,
Everyone have a good
everyone.
night. Bye, Dan. Bye, Brian.
Bye.